So let's begin here, standing upright. You can shake out a little bit, find that nice tall posture. First step is to lift through the top of the head, like there's a helium balloon there, shoulders relaxing, natural curve of the spine. And first movement, arms out to the sides, nice and active, hip rotations, churning the hips in one direction 10 times, and then in the opposite direction 10 times. Notice how my head and chest really aren't moving. This is hips, lower back, pelvis, abdomen area, warming it up, opening it up. So back and forth 10 times each. Next, we get into the squat here for cow and cat spine. Inhale, arching the spine, and exhale, rounding the spine. You can see from the side view as well what's happening here. Less about the head being craned one direction or the other, more about what's happening in the abdomen and in the torso, and then that tucking and tilting of the hips. So 5 times each way, opening and closing, inhaling and exhaling with the movement. And then an inhale and an exhale, forward folding. And again, you can see here my knees are bent a little bit to relax my lower back. My hamstrings are a little bit tighter, so if you have tighter hamstrings, bend the knees a bit and release the lower back. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Each time I go a little bit deeper into the hamstrings while keeping the spine loose. On the exhale, I make sure to relax my neck and shoulders. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, releasing. And on an inhale, rolling up the spine, shoulders and head stay heavy, lifting up, up, up through each joint of the spine until you come back to standing, neutral spine. Now, arms at the sides as dead weight start to twist through the hips and torso. The arms come along for the ride, helping to give a little more torque at the end there. Going back and forth 5 times. Just wake up the spine a little bit more. And rolling open the shoulders one direction 5 times, and then opposite direction 5 times. And then next we're doing the shoulder opening, the swan dive opening, feet together, exhaling and then inhaling. Exhale, inhale. I'm doing 2 different versions of this. So the first one is open like a swan dive. The second one is clapping behind the back. Both of those are on an inhale. I'm do this 10 times. Lifting up onto my tippy toes. There's a lot happening there, but it's a wonderful practice when you get it. And now moving into the elbows, rotating one direction and the other. Mainly the movement is in the forearm, upper arms are steady. And then pushing through the palms, thumbs on the inside, active fist, rotate one direction, and then opposite direction. I believe I'm doing this 5 times in each direction. Again, the amount is not so important. I'm just giving you a basic recipe. Shaking out the wrists. And now reaching behind, grabbing opposite elbows or forearms. You can see from behind here. Shoulders are going to relax down the back as you do this. This is to encourage the shoulders to relax down as we lift through the spine and then open the neck with some gentle, I reinforce, gentle neck rolls. Be very careful with the cervical vertebrae. It's very easy to create chronic issues there if you overdo this kind of practice. So just rolling one direction and then the other. Make sure it feels okay, no acute pain. Shaking that out, we'll move down the body to the knees first. Feet are together, hands are above the knees, not resting on the patella themselves. Rotating in one direction, you can go deeper and deeper with the rotation, and then opposite direction. You can go more shallow or more deep depending on how your knees feel. Moving down to the ankles, one leg up, and rotating 5 times one way, 5 times the other way, and then some pointing and flexing. Make sure ankles feel nice and open, a little bit of heat in the joint. And opposite ankle. And again, realize we're doing core, spine, and joints. This is a great way to make sure we stay injury-free and just long-term body health in general. Shaking that out, grabbing opposite ankle now to stretch through the quad. Taking a few breaths here, maybe 4 or 5 breaths. Staying really attentive in the quad, and then shaking it out. And opposite. The knee that's being lifted is pointing down towards the grass underneath. It shouldn't be sideways or pulled back too much, just straight down as much as possible. You can see from the side view as well. And shaking that out. then a moment or two of spontaneous free movement. You can tell I'm a big fan of that. Next will come squats. So interlacing the fingers, lift on an inhale and an exhale, squatting down. On the next inhale, grab the right wrist with the left hand, pull up through the side, squat down. On the next inhale, pulling through the left wrist and squat down. So we'll do that twice. You can see from the side view, on the exhale, as I squat down, my arms create a counterbalance. So I can really squat without feeling my balance go back too far. Nice inhale, exhale down. Go as deep as feels good for your knees. And then finally, harmonizing breath, finishing here. Inhale, coming up the spine with your attention, and then exhale down and out through the mouth. Inhale up through the nose, exhale down and out through the mouth. So this is a nice, gentle, clearing breath. And finish as you began by having that helium balloon at the top of the head, reaching and finding that neutral spine. And remember, I'm simply offering a basic recipe. Please feel free to modify the sequence as the need occurs in your practice.